What's up everyone? Welcome to the video. It's a beautiful morning, beautiful spring day. It's time to make ourselves a coffee. But before that, of course, first things first. Morning, little guy. This is part of the morning routine. So look guys, for today we have a very interesting topic to discuss. And namely, 5 reasons why smart men avoid dating single moms. So look guys, before we jump in, um, I don't hate single moms. That's not the reason why I make this video. I don't think they're all evil. I don't think every single mother is bad news. A lot of them are strong, hardworking women, but strength doesn't always equal stability and suitability in a relationship. So, this video is for men who value their time, their freedom, and their future. So, if that's not you, feel free to skip it. But of course, if you're tired of stepping into someone else's mess and pretending that it's a fair deal, this one, my friend, is perfect for you. Reason number one why smart men avoid dating single moms is that you will always come second. You will always be second place for her. Her child will always come first, and it should be. After all, that's her kid. But here's the thing, you're signing up to be an afterthought in your own relationship. You want a woman who builds up with you, not someone who's already spent her best years and energy somewhere else. Her time, attention, emotional energy, it's already tied up. Come on. Uh, you feel it. Once you step into a relationship with a single mom, you feel it. Trust me about it. If you're somebody who's already been in a relationship with a single mother, you perfectly know what I'm talking about. You'll be the man who helps with the bills, maybe even pays some of the expenses regarding the kid. You will play part-time dad, but you're not the king of the castle, you know? You're just a placeholder. You're just somebody who's there. Imagine this, hypothetical situation. A guy dates a single mother for 8 months, let's say. Um, they plan a vacation together. He pays for everything, books the hotel, and suddenly she cancels out of nothing. Or actually, not out of nothing. Why? Her baby daddy bailed on watching the kid. No refund, no trip, and she expects you, or him in that case, that guy, she expects him to understand. That's the reality you have to deal with. Reason number two why smart men avoid dating single mothers is that you'll be sharing her with her baby daddy. So, that guy will always be a permanent fixture in her life. Trust me about it. Co parenting ties them together forever. So, you think you're building something with her, but her ex has more influence over her schedule, emotions, and sometimes even finances than you do. You'll be walking on walk shells every time there's a custody fight or an emotional spillover. You're basically signing up to be an emotional tampoon for her. That's not peace, bro. That's a psychological minefield. Imagine following situation. Let's say it's a date night. You've got dinner planned. Then, out of nowhere, she gets a call. Her ex is flipping out about the kid's schedule, the kid's school schedule, let's say. She's stressed and emotional, and just like that, your plans are toast. You're not her priority, her past is. It's a bad place to be, and it keeps showing up uninvited every single fucking time. You know, you're not just dating her, you're indirectly tied to her ex's chaos too. It's a horrible place to be, if you ask me. And no matter how mature the co parenting is, he's always there. That's not a relationship, bro. That's a triangle, basically, that you didn't sign up for. Reason number three why smart men avoid dating single mothers is that you carry all the risk and none of the reward. You're basically investing in a situation that gives you limited upside and a massive downside. You're not the biological father of the child, but society expects you to act like one. They want you to step up and man up and be be a father of the child, to provide, to protect, to invest and sacrifice. And what if the relationship ends? Hmm? You're simply going to lose everything, and maybe even get guilt tripped for walking away. You'll be told stuff like, but the child loves you, you're like a dad to him or her. Yeah, but you're not the father of the child, right? That's a manipulation. You're held emotionally hostage for a child that's not even yours. Most men are wired to provide, but we forget to ask the question, who am I providing for? A woman, for a woman who had another man's kid? That's not legacy. That's self sabotage. Does it sound like a fair deal to you? Picture this. You've been with her for a year, let's say, paying for everything: rent, bills, school trips, toys. You're handling all the expenses and emotional labor. Mm, but when it comes to decision making, when it comes to make decisions about the kid, you're left out completely. You know, you have full responsibility but zero authority. You're like like something like a backup parent, but not a real one. You know, the child will be our child when it has to benefit from you, from like emotionally, financially, and everything I just mentioned. But it's gonna be her child um, when it comes to making decisions, teaching him a lesson, um, and explain to it or her, him or her, how things are done in life. In those cases, you'll be left out completely. Mm. There's a saying in my country that the guy with the money orders the music. Well, in that case, you'll be the one with the money, and somebody else will order the music. It's not a good place to be. So you're risking your time, your money, your emotional energy. It's gonna be a completely waste of your emotional energy for a child that isn't yours, for a child that you didn't father, and society expects you to be the hero anyway. Come on, that's not a win. It's a fucking trap. That's how feminized modern society is. Look, guys, when women are in their prime, they just want to have fun. They sleep around with as many alpha dudes as possible, and they don't care how they treat men. They don't care how they treat the so-called good guys. Uh, but once they're no longer center of male attention. That usually happens when they hit 30. Once reality hits, mm, they expect those guys, those men who are categorized as good guys, to step up and do the right thing. I repeat, in their prime, women don't care about doing the right thing. But once they hit the wall, they expect men to do the right thing. Does that sound fair to you? It doesn't sound fair to me, you know? So think about it and be very cautious and very careful who you invite in your life, because the decisions you're making can literally ruin your life. Reason number four why smart men avoid dating single mothers is that their standards are unrealistic. Single mothers often want a top tier man after they've made bottom tier decisions. They'll say something like, I need a real man who accepts me and my kid. Meanwhile, they choose a man who left. Now you are expected to come in with stability, maturity, and last but not least, with money, and prove you're different and fix all her problems. So, what's the irony in all of that? She brings more baggage but demands a better deal. That's not fairness, bro. That's delusion. Come on. Imagine a woman who's been with a guy who treated her like an option, let's say. Someone who bailed when things got tough. Now she's hunting for a real man. Stable, mature, with money, with status. But here's the kicker. Despite carrying all the baggage, she still thinks of herself as a 10 out of 10. Constantly optimizing her hypergamy. And you're just the beta provider who is expected to fix all her mess, prove you're different, and settle for, second place in her loyalty. You know, they demand you to do all of that for them, but uh, want you to not expect them to be loyal to you. It's a bad deal. Single mothers want a top tier man, but often without taking responsibility for their past choices. It's not about fairness, it's about unrealistic expectations. Um, Also, they're not loyal, which is a trap for you to fail. You know why? Because as I said, they always keep optimizing their hypergamy. Uh, Single mothers are usually feminists and blame everything and everybody for their past failures. Always someone else's fault. Her brother, her father, boyfriend, husband, ex-husband, the president, the four seasons, the gravity even, but it's never their fault. They're always the victim. And you know perfectly that people in general, not just women, people who have a victim mindset, they won't go far in life. So, to avoid that stupid situations, to avoid that chaos, having that chaos in your life, simply stay away from people like that. I have a personal story for you. When I was still actively dating, when I was still on the dating market in my late 20s, I matched with a girl, with a woman actually, single mother in Tinder. I think she was 43, so good looking for 43-year-old woman with a kid. We were chatting, and I don't like wasting my time getting to know people in a chat. I what I was doing was, asking the question straight away. Let's go out grab a coffee, for an hour or two. She rejected, claiming that um, first she wanted to get to know me better before we go out on a date. So I refused immediately. I told her that I don't have any intentions to getting to know people in a chat. So I told her straight. So mm, I offered you, to go out on a date. to grab a coffee. If not, then this is it, you know. I'm gonna remove you from my contacts and life will go on. And suddenly she said, but you can keep fighting for my attention or something like that. You can, you know, keep fighting for me. Fight for what exactly? 43-year-old woman with a kid. Fight for what? It doesn't make sense. This is how delusion looks like. And reason number 5 why smart men avoid dating single moms is that you are delaying your own legacy. Every second you spend investing in someone else's bloodline, it's time stolen from building your own, basically. You want a family? Build it from scratch. With a woman who's not already tied to another man's life. For life, even. Smart men, look guys, smart men understand the following thing. Biology matters. Legacy matters. Direction matters. You want children who carry your DNA, your family name, and your bloodline. You're not just dating a woman when you're dating a single mother. You're stepping into a complex situation that can literally derail you from your purpose. Imagine the following thing. You're with a woman who already has a child from another man. You're investing time, money, and energy, but those kids will never carry your family name and your DNA. Meanwhile, you're putting your own on hold. Your own legacy is on fucking hold, waiting for a chance to build something real. But you'll be in a situation in which you will feel that this chance will never come to you. It's like planting a seed in someone else's garden instead of your own. This is how ridiculous it is. So look guys, you don't owe anyone anything. Not her, not her kid, not her ex. You owe your future self the truth. And the truth is, most men who date single moms are looking for validation and not a direction. Do you want to have peace? Build it. Build your own family. You know, you want chaos? Simply walk into someone else's and you have it. So look guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you like the information I just shared with you. Hit the like button if you like it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're serious, of course, about leveling up as a man in terms of fitness, fashion, and dating, I've got more truth bombs coming out for you. So don't forget to man up and move up. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.